In this edition of Grammar Time, we're going to be taking a look at run-on sentences. Now, it's important to note that there are two kinds of run-on sentences, comma splices and fused sentences. In order to take a look at this, though, we first have to create a compound sentence. We're going to begin with the simple sentence, Marge Simpson cooks pork chops. Now we need to add another, Homer likes to eat pork chops. Now, let's make that compound sentence. Marge cooks pork chops, Homer eats them. Here we have two simple sentences, and in this case they are equally important and have a direct relationship with each other. And in such cases, it's often ideal to combine the two simple sentences into a compound sentence. To create the compound sentence, you need to first remove the period at the end of the first clause. Here we got a period after pork chops, we're going to take that away. Then we add a comma in its place and also add a coordinating conjunction, in this case and this will create a compound sentence. Our question here is what happens if either the comma or the conjunction is missing? And that's where we get a run-on sentence. But it's important to break down how each of those problems function and the issues that they create for the reader. Let's begin with the comma splice, which occurs when there is a missing conjunction. So here we have the conjunction and. If we remove it, then we're going to have some issues, in part because the comma is a hard-working piece of punctuation. It has lots of jobs. So if the reader sees it but not a conjunction, they won't know if you're introducing a list, offering an interjection, or offsetting parenthetical information. And even if they recognize that there's two sentences, without the conjunction, they won't understand what the relationship is between the two clauses. Now, let's take a look at the fused sentence, which occurs when there is a missing comma. So here we have the comma introducing the conjunction. If we remove it, the issue is the reader will not understand where the subject or object are. Initially, Homer was the subject of his own clause. He ate the pork chops. But when we remove that comma, it might look as though he is part of the object of the previous sentence. Now, in this case, we have Marge cooks pork chops, but it might now look like Marge cooks pork chops and Homer. And I don't know if Homer's going to like that very much. So now you can see the importance of making sure that you add the comma and the conjunction so that the two sentences are clearly delineated from each other. And that's how the run-on sentence works. But let's do a quick summary. We have two kinds of run-on sentences, the comma splices, and those occur when a compound sentence has a comma but not a coordinating conjunction. On the other side, we have the fused sentence, and that occurs when a compound sentence has a coordinated conjunction but not a comma. There is another option for the run-on sentence. You could put a semicolon in between them in place of the comma and conjunction, but we'll cover that in a different video. All right, I hope that was clear. If you do have any questions about compound sentences, run-on sentences, fused sentences, or comma splices, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my very best to get to them as soon as possible. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.